Hello, I'm Terrence Poppycock and welcome to Soil and You. This is soil. And this is soil. And this is soil. However, this isn't soil, but soil is all around us. It's the main reason for the plant life we see today. Without it, we wouldn't have the great oak, silver birch, or even shrubberies. Soil is composed of many things. It's composed of the air, dead organic matter, inorganic matter such as rocks, and water. And water is the component that we will be studying today.
And so he embarked on his perilous voyage of discovery, stretching both scientific, geographic, social and emotional barriers, on his heroic quest to decipher the true meaning of water in soil.
So here we are at the mystical forest. Many fairy tale creatures call this their home, including the rare blue-footed booby.
Soil scientists characterize soils according to how effectively they retain and transport water. Once water enters the soil from rain or irrigation, gravity comes into play, causing water to trickle downward. Water is also taken up in great quantities by the roots of plants. Soils differ in their capacity to retain moisture against the pull exerted by gravity and by plant roots. This is also dependent on their bed type, be it crumb, granular, blocky, or columnar. Coarse soils, such as those consisting mostly of sand, tend to hold less water than do soils with finer textures, such as those with greater proportion of clay.
Water is mainly found in the B horizon, just above the impermeable parent rock. It is at this level that the process of through flow takes place.
Water also moves through soil pores independently of gravity. This movement can occur via capillary action, in which water molecules move because they are more attracted to the pore walls than to one another. Such movement tends to occur from wetter to drier areas of the soil. The movement from soil to plant roots can also depend on how tightly water molecules are bound to soil particles. The attraction of water molecules to each other is an example of cohesion. The attraction of water molecules to other materials, such as soil or plant roots, is a type of adhesion. These effects, which determine the so-called matrix potential of the soil, depend largely on the size and arrangement of the soil particles. Another factor that can affect water movement is referred to as the osmotic potential. The osmotic potential hinges on the amount of dissolved salts in the soil. Soils high in soluble salt tend to reduce uptake of water by plant roots and seeds.
Under normal circumstances, the pores between the soil particles are half filled with water and half filled with oxygen. However, when the soil is waterlogged, for example when precipitation exceeds evapotranspiration, these pores become full of water, thus meaning there is no oxygen present. This results in a process called glaying, which is where the red-coloured ferric ion is reduced to a grey-blue ferrous ion. This is known as the Icarus process. It occurs regularly in British soils and is responsible for the soil's general colour.
Here's a little teaser for the break. What are the 4 soil peds? Clue, we mentioned them earlier. More soil-induced fun after the break. Welcome back. We're now at the laboratory, and in this part we will be investigating soil characteristics. Firstly, find your soil sample. I've already found mine, and now I'm going to investigate its texture. To do this, I'll get a small amount of the soil and put it in between my forefinger and thumb. I'll then gently rub and find the texture of the soil. This is quite a soft soil. If it was a rocky soil, it would be rough. I'm now going to investigate the soil's appearance. To do this, I'll have to get nice and close to see the size of the particles. Particles are reasonably small in this sample of soil. If they were large, I should think it would be a clayey soil, but since they're quite small, near sandy. I haven't got the equipment needed to do the pH test, but I shall tell you how to do it anyway. Mix a small amount of the soil with some water in a test tube. Then add a few drops of universal indicator. Place a bung in the top of the test tube and shake this up. Once the solution has changed colour, then compare it to a graph to see how acidic or alkaline it may be. Now I'm going to test for stickiness. Since this is quite a damp soil, I should test for damp stickiness. To do this, rub some over your hand and see how much is left over. I can see that quite a lot is left over here, so it is quite a sticky soil when wet. We could have tested for drier stickiness, but this isn't really necessary, and also the soil today is quite moist since it has been raining. We could also test the mass of dry and wet soils, but again, this doesn't really give very good results. So I should tell you what happens anyway. If a soil is heavy when wet, it is usually a clay type soil. If it is medium sort of weight, it is a loamy soil. If it is very light in weight, it is usually sand, as this has a low water retention.
Warning! Warning! Do not try this at home. No, really, don't. Eye protection should always be worn and hands should always be washed after contact with soil.
This concludes that the role of water in soil is very important. Without it, we wouldn't have such valuable pastimes such as mud vesting and peat bog swimming. So this concludes our programme on soils today. I've been Terrence Poppycock, and I wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Rocking around the Christmas tree at the Christmas party hop. Mistletoe hung where you can see every couple tries to stop. Rocking around the Christmas tree, let the Christmas spirit ring.
However, this is not soil, but soil is all around us, and it's the key component of a plant's life. Without it, we wouldn't see many of the beautiful oaks and birches we have today. However, this is not soil, but soil is all around us. It's the key component for life. Without it, we wouldn't see many of the great oaks, silver birches, and shrubberies. However, this is not soil, but soil is all around us. However, this is not soil. However, so here we are. Hello and welcome to the... So here we are in the mythical forest, abundant in many... So here we are in the mythical forest. So here we are in the mystical forest, abundant in many... Welcome back. Find your sample of soil. We're now going to test for texture. We're not testing for texture. No, we're not. Now that I've found my soil sample, let's have a look. Firstly, find your sample of soil. I've already found mine. I'm now going to